Do you guys hear that? No? Is it just me? I think it's getting a little louder. I know what it is. That's the sweet sound of motivation. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. What is motivation? Where is motivation? What kind of motivation? Who is she? How do we get motivated? How do I get motivated? How do you get motivated? Well, fear not, friend, because you have Danielle's 10 fabulous, wonderful, super mega, ultra helpful tips for motivation. You'll thank me later. So we're only gonna cover 3 important points. Tip number 1. A positive environment goes a long way, believe me. And what I mean by a positive environment is not that you've got things around your room that are like, stay positive, be happy, not motivational posters, because let's be honest, they don't actually do anything. I'm talking about influential people, good people. They can talk you down when you're stressed or anxious about a project or a test. They can get your head back in the game. I know I've got a couple of those friends, and it's always good to have a few handy when you need them. So find yourself those people. They could be a best friend, a regular friend, a parent, a teacher, anybody. It's also okay to give yourself rewards, days off. You don't have to be on task doing things every hour of every day. That's crazy. Tip number 2. Do what you love and you'll be most successful. Now, that really put things in perspective for me when I was looking at career choices, because I always thought high-paying job, lots of money, gonna be a happy person. But not really, because if you don't love what you do, you most likely won't do it well, or you won't enjoy it. So I want to go into something that I'll really enjoy, and I realized that throughout this process. So the tip here is to transform things that aren't so fun into things that you'll enjoy doing. Although it's different for everybody because we all have different interests and likes and dislikes. A personal example for me is this project, because I sort of lost interest halfway through and I wasn't really working on it. But I realized that being motivated is so much more than just learning how to do it. A lot of it was setting goals. So I tried to set goals for things in my life that I really enjoy doing. So for me it was guitar. I like to play guitar and I've been playing for 5 years. You can also incorporate this sort of thing into your school life as well. I found that studying for tests is 20,000 times easier when I put it to something that I love. So for example, with guitar again, I used to put my study notes into song lyrics, and I would play a few chords and I would strum along and it would be fantastic, and I did really well on those tests. Tip number 3. Okay, this one's the easiest one. Be happy, stay happy, and you'll be motivated. But Danielle, that's different for everybody. Okay, I get it. So, if you're ever feeling sad, or mad, or upset, or anything, I guarantee you won't be motivated. My best tip for getting out of that, reflect on your achievements. Now, I know that sounds silly. Like, what have I done in my life? I don't know. But if you really think about it, it's a good way to lift your mood. Don't think about all the negative stuff. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're trying to lift your spirit. That's the best way to become more motivated. Now, there's this little girl, and she has her daily affirmations that she makes in the mirror. It's the cutest thing, and I think everybody should be like that. Maybe not to that extreme, but just look for yourself.
Do anything good. I I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my...
And if you think reflecting on your achievements is kind of silly, try doing this, because it'll not only benefit you, but others too. I always find that the best way to make myself feel good is to make others feel good. Give people compliments, tell them they look nice. Please, it's the least you could do. And I guarantee afterwards you will feel great because you'll put a smile on their face and maybe even make their day. You'll probably make their day. What I learned is that I can be very persistent in achieving goals and setting them too. So I took the 30-day challenge, which is what I saw on the internet, and it was where you pick something that you want to do and you do it for 30 days. Really straightforward. So each day I set goals, and they looked a little bit like this. They were on sticky notes. I would stick them to my wall, just like that, and I would check it off every day for what I did. So of course on this list there are a few things that are still not checked off. I would give myself a little box and I would check it off as I go. But it's okay to not check everything off every day because you just bump it to the next day. Not a good habit. However, it happens. I surprised myself. I did not think that I would be able to do it for the full 30 days, but I did. And I feel really proud of myself. It makes me want to do more, which is exactly what I set out to do. So I think that anybody could do this, really. But of course, like every normal human being on this planet, I had some obstacles that got in the way. The main ones being I really don't work well with open-ended projects, such as this one. I had trouble staying focused, and friends were a big distraction. That's what interfered with my original plan. I wanted to learn about the psychology of motivation as well as motivating myself. But that didn't happen because I didn't manage my time very well, and I ran out of time to do the psychology aspect of my project. For overcoming the open-ended project, I made a plan for myself. And I'm not talking about when we did the Passion Project calendar, because let's face it, I don't think any of us followed that. I even said that I wanted to read a book during that time, but I didn't realize how hard it was to get my hands on that book. It just didn't happen. So I ended up doing the same thing with my goals, and I set them for each week, each month, each day, so that I knew exactly what I needed to get done, and I tried to achieve it as best as I could. Make your own rules, make your own instructions, but don't make them too hard or too easy. And finally, to wrap up this super amazing, super interesting, fantastic, wonderful vlog, I know what you're all thinking. I'm excellent, really good at doing all this. Thank you. I'd just like to mention that during my research, I found you don't need to look on the websites that are .org, .gov. You don't need to find studies or anything too fancy about certain topics. For this one, I found that the main parts of my list that were actually really helpful for me in achieving being more motivated were from sites that were people's blogs, and even Yahoo Answers, because they were real tips from real people, and it works. It's raw, unscripted, unedited advice from strangers with similar struggles, and that, my friends, was probably the best decision I've ever made for this passion project. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're more motivated.